everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Mrs. T. Today, we want to talk about people who believe that everything belongs to them. We call them all for me people. Simply put, hogs. Yeah, I said hogs. I am sure everyone knows someone who believes that they should have more than everyone else. I don't know where to start with this one, so I will just jump in. Example 1. The news has reported that a Category 2 storm is about to hit your city this coming Tuesday. The average person does grocery shopping during the weekend, so think of them as we continue on. The news has reported that the hurricane will pass through your area between 8 p.m. Tuesday night and 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. Everyone is getting ready for the impact of the storm, as they should. And you go to the food store to purchase essentials like bread, canned goods, and water. Well, typically the items you don't have in your home, which are essential when a storm is passing. When you arrive at this food store, you find that all the essential items are either gone or that there is very little to go around. Why is this so? Some people will get into the store and purchase 10 gallons of water despite what they have at home and despite the fact that the hurricane will last less than a day, leaving almost nothing for other people. Bear in mind, these people may only have 2 or 3 people in their household. I will never understand why people who likely shopped just 2 days earlier will need to purchase 5 times what they need for a storm that would last less than a day. To me, that is simple hoggishness. Example 2. Your friend gets a tip that a new investor is selling shares in a big venture. For this purpose, it's a shopping plaza. The offering window is short, say 5 days. Your friend goes and purchases as much as he or she can and then waits until closing day to tell you about the investment. You ask why? Why did you not tell me sooner? Because it leaves me with little time to get in on this deal. He or she says, oh, I was so busy, I forgot. Bull. Do you have a friend like that? Be honest. This person is greedy. This person is hoggish. This person is all for me only. If you are my friend, when you get the news, I get the news, so that both of us can go together. Too many times I have had this type of experience, to say the least. Regardless, they have not stopped my shine. I hope you don't let it stop your shine either. Example number 3. The government is issuing permits for free dog space for 1 year to the first 500 people to come forward. Your neighbor to your right has had many conversations with you regarding high dockage fees. He gets wind of this information, and instead of telling you right away so that you both can go and get this perk, he goes to sort himself out first, then tells you a few days later when the permits have all been filled. Do you know someone like that? What a hog. You see, these are just small examples of all for me type people. These people will have their hands in every single thing. And if you are lucky, you might get wind of 1 or 2 things in good time to capitalize on it. How is it that a small group of people are able to have multiple shopping plazas, liquor stores, eateries, transportation permits, and the list goes on? These are all for me people. They are hogs because they want to have everything. People have to learn to keep their eyes open for this sort of behavior all the time. A dealership should never be allowed to bring in and sell used vehicles or be in the rental business. When this happens, small businesses and entrepreneurs of this type get slaughtered. A major supermarket should never be allowed to bring in and sell every flipping product on the market. Neither should they be allowed to be in every strategic part of the island or country or neighborhood. When this happens, mom and pop stores will die a slow death. If you are not all the way clear, just listen. Take, for example, a supermarket is allowed to sell cooked food or perfume. How in the world are restaurants and perfume stores going to survive? And I'm not just talking about the big restaurants. I'm talking about the itty bitty little stores around the corner, the chicken snack place and so forth. Politicians should not be in the business of which they are mandated to regulate. We all know what happens here. If they are in the business they regulate, they will only look out for themselves. I don't want to get into that because that could go in all sorts of directions. When the above is allowed to take place in any country, small businesses and entrepreneurs die a slow death. There is no middle class, and the gap between the rich and the poor gets wider by the minute. People who are only looking out for themselves will always want everything they can see or get their hands on. They will never consider other people's needs because they are about self. No community, island, or country can function with people who must keep everything for themselves. The behavior is likened unto a hog, and until people demand better, they will always see the likes of all four me characters. Those persons who accept slippery favors, monetary or otherwise, are a big part of the problem that we have in society today. If you don't know what that means, any act that does not help the majority of the people most of the times is a crime of greed and selfishness, and is deemed a hoggish and all for me mentality. Some people might even call it asinine. How can you feel good about you getting a little piece when tomorrow you will be hungry again? People need to learn to think with their brains and not about their short-term pleasures. That brings me to the end of this message. I hope it helps someone in some small way. You're welcome to send questions about the topic. A response to the question which appeals most to our audience will be answered at the top of the next message. Please like, follow, and subscribe so you never miss a message that might be destined for your ears. Until next time, everyone, remember, all people have value.